My family and friends ask me, who would watch a YouTube channel about a guy and his Honda Fit?
Weirdos who like weird stuff.
When I talk to people about changing their own oil, they say, yeah, but the quick lube places check all this stuff. Well, time to learn how to check all that stuff. It's not that hard. Obviously, they're going to change your oil. I have a video about changing your own oil, link to it here. To check your oil, find the dipstick, which is usually the yellow one or the orange one in the front of the engine. Use a paper towel to wipe it clean, then stick it all the way back in, and then give it a lick. And then give it a lick. And then I dare you to lick it. And then I dare you to lick it. The oil should just be between those two dots, and make sure there's no glitter and that your oil doesn't look like a milkshake. If there is, you should take it to a mechanic. Then you're going to look for a big black box. That's where the air flows for your engine. So you should check the filter. There are going to be tabs or bolts to remove, and then the top should just pop off. These filters are between $5 and $15. So don't get charged $30 by the quick lube places to replace it. It's a waste of money. It takes 5 minutes to do it yourself. When you look at it, it should be pretty straightforward to see if it's so dirty it needs replaced, or if air could still flow through it pretty well. Just make sure when you're done, you fasten everything all the way back on. To check your coolant, look for the coolant reservoir, but remember, don't take the radiator cap off when the car is still warm. Engine coolant is under pressure when the engine is warm, and if you do, when you take it off when it's cold, just make sure there's no weird gunk on it. There are just lines on the side that show where the fluid should be. So, checking your serpentine belt is not hard. Just find the belt, which is, in a serpentine shape. Make sure that it's not cracky or old or crusty or anything like that. It should feel like fresh rubber. It's pretty easy. And it shouldn't be super loose either. If you've owned your car for a while and you haven't changed it, it's a good idea to get it changed. Brake fluid is super easy. Find the reservoir, make sure the fluid's between the lines. If it's low, the cap will just tell you what kind of fluid to use to top it off. Wiper blades are stupid easy. First off, just run them, and if it's streaky, you might need it replaced. But to check it, all you do is feel it by hand. If it's cracked or weird or old or gross, it's kind of the same thing as a belt. It should just feel like fresh rubber because it's a squeegee basically. They make tons of money on wiper blades, so just change it yourself and save the $20 that they're going to charge you. To check all your lights alone is not difficult. Just go into your garage, cycle through all your lights, and you'll see them on your walls. Sometimes the places will clean your windows. That's easy. Clean your windows. They check your tire pressure. Tire pressure is really easy to check with a tire pressure gauge. For some reason, I have a ton of pressure in the front, so I'm going to deflate them a bit off camera. If you want to know what tire pressure to put your tires at, just check inside your door. And you can honestly do it with a bike pump. Not hard. Some places will check differential and transmission fluid. I'm too lazy to show you those. Just check with their respective dipsticks when the car is warmed up. Make sure you don't have any drips on your driveway. Washer fluid, same thing. There's going to be lines on the reservoir. You just fill it up with washer fluid. If you're in a place that gets really cold, they make washer fluids that don't freeze. I like to check my battery with a multimeter. You can get a multimeter on Amazon for $20. You just set it to measure 12 volts. There will be a little image of a battery on there a lot of the time. Then you just put positive to positive, negative to negative, and it should read over 12 volts when the car is off. Checking over your own car is not tough, and if you're responsible enough to drive, you should probably figure out how to maintain one, at least to a super basic degree. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.